Hey, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog. It is, I believe it's Thursday, and it's day 10 of my 60-day all raw food challenge, and things are coming along really well. Taking it easy today, did not go for a run. I went for an 8.5 mile run yesterday, which was really awesome. So I'm taking it easy today. I just went for a short walk with my dog today, which was nice to do, nice and relaxing. And then, uh, you know, have been chilling out, got some laundry done, things like that. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how food is going. I just made myself a Mondo green smoothie, and this is just banana, some OJ, and some fresh spinach that I found at the market. And it's yummy, and I'm going to drink all of this. So, what else? I want to talk a little bit about the kinds of food that I've been eating. Still keeping it pretty simple. Yesterday I tried, as opposed to, it's mostly smoothies for me still. I've been really wary about just eating things solid, although I've been working in more and more by way of salads. So yesterday I used my mandolin blade on my food processor, and I made myself a kind of a kale slaw, and I made a dressing with some fresh bean sprouts and fresh cilantro, and then I threw in, I think, a few pine nuts and some orange juice to make it, obviously you have to add a liquid when you're blending things, and then the pine nuts were to make it just a little bit creamy, so that I was having, just a slightly different texture as my dressing. I may have put in like a jot of lemon, and then I added some tahini. I added maybe a teaspoon of tahini. And I had some questions about that. I was worried whether or not tahini is raw. And I've seen recipes, I'm certain that I've seen recipes where tahini has been added in their raw food recipes, but I just had some questions about it. I think it's basically blended sesame seed, and it might have a little oil in it. But I really just wanted something that was going to make my dressing, just give my dressing a little bit of a nutty flavor, and also give it a nice consistency. And adding too many nuts would have meant having to add more liquid, and so the tahini is kind of already a liquid. That said, I want to let go, and I want to forgive myself if tahini, the tablespoon of tahini that I put in there, is not considered 100% raw. It was, the dressing on the salad, and all told, it was, a teaspoonful in what, turned out to be maybe 4 cups of kale. So I think the kale pushed it through. Continuing on, I want to talk about the fruits that I've been craving these days. Went to the market back over the weekend for the pig roast at my brother's house, where I did not eat any of the food that was being served there other than the fruit salad. But I found a nice little market out there on the Delaware countryside, and picked up a lot of produce. And I ended up getting a lot of bananas. Discovered that I'm not really, my body's not, I don't really have a taste for bananas. I'm not even really liking the taste of them. And this is odd for me, because in the past, when I've done green smoothies, and I've done them, pretty much every day for years, I've only wanted bananas in my smoothie. But for some reason, not doing it for me. And so, I have all these bananas, and I want to talk to you about freezing bananas. You can freeze bananas. All you need to do is wait until they're ripe, then you peel them, and then you just go ahead and break them up into the same size pieces that you would, say, use in the smoothie, if that's what you're going to use them for, and then, put them in a plastic container and stick them in the freezer, and they'll keep for you right there. They don't turn black like, sometimes if you put a banana in the refrigerator, in the peel, they turn black. That does not happen in the freezer. They stay the exact same color as they were, and they retain their sweetness and their nutrients and all that stuff. And they're frozen. And in general, with raw food cooking, frozen is okay as long as it's being frozen fresh and not, cooked and then frozen. You want to freeze things fresh so that they'll keep. There's also people who dehydrate fresh fruits and vegetables, and they also retain more of their nutrients. So that's considered raw as long as you're dehydrating them at a temperature that I think is lower than. There's not agreement. Some people say 140 degrees, some people say 110 degrees. So I find somewhere in the safe lower end of that scale. Usually like 114 degrees is what temperature I will use to dehydrate things. But I've not been doing much of any of that. Really haven't been freezing things, and really haven't been eating frozen vegetables, and really haven't been dehydrating anything. I've been doing all fresh fruits and vegetables. Yesterday, for the first time, I had some nuts that were just, kind of the nuts themselves, as opposed to blending them and making them part of a salad. And they didn't give me a stomach ache, so that's promising, which means that I may actually be able to make you guys that raw chocolate shake that I promised a little while ago. What I had been craving, anything that's yellow, anything that's orange, anything that is red. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a really big fan of bell peppers, but I made that salad with bell pepper in it. I was really like just digging the red. I was digging the yellow of the yellow bell pepper. I've been into peaches. I've been into mangoes. I've been into pineapple. I've been into oranges. I've been into citrus fruits. Really been into the things that are like bright yellow, bright orange, bright red. Berries I've been loving. I've also been having some blueberries, but the blueberries, not the thing that jump off the shelf for me. So all that said, things I've been craving, yellow things, peaches, mangoes, pineapples, been loving those things and loving them in my smoothies, along with fresh greens. The greens that I've been using, kale I haven't been so into, although I did get some fresh kale from Queens County Farm, which is a local urban farm that's pretty close to me. I have a friend who's a chef. She made a visit there, and she knows that I'm doing this all raw food challenge, and she brought me some fresh kale from the farm that was awesome, and I had that yesterday. Been enjoying dandelion greens. Been really enjoying Swiss chard for some reason. It's something, it's just a vegetable that I've really been enjoying having. And then today, when I was in the market, I went and got some fresh organic spinach. So that's really what I've been eating. I talked a little bit about my weight yesterday, still holding at about 205 pounds, which is not a lot of weight for a person my height. I think some people are starting to, get that. I'm starting to get maybe some sideways glances from people like, are you getting too skinny? But you hear a lot of that. You hear a lot of the you're getting too skinny. Interestingly, I'm not hearing that from the healthy people around me. I'm hearing that from the people who aren't quite so healthy these days. So when I start hearing from the healthy people around me that I'm getting too skinny, then I'll listen. But I have a funny feeling that I'm not going to be hearing that because, again, my goal here is not losing a lot of weight. It's just, eating the healthiest foods. And if eating the healthiest foods leads to me having a body that's very slim, then so be it. What else? Been doing a lot of thinking, having a lot of time on my hands, time that I'm not, you know, cooking, time that I'm not really thinking about food because I kind of know where my next meal is coming from and exactly what it's going to be. Um, Being out on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning, going for a run for 3 hours. There's been a lot of time to do some serious thinking about what I'm going to be doing with myself over the next few years, and that's been nice. It's been a convenience. I found that if I bring meditation tapes with me, even if I'm not listening consciously to the meditation tape itself, it puts me in a mindset to be more meditative. So I found that's really useful as opposed to the thumping of music, which I've done in the past just to kind of keep me going and to motivate me. So what I'll do is, like, on the way out, I'll listen to meditation tapes, and then on the way back, since I know how far I have to go back, I'll listen to just some music to just kind of keep it interesting, but still keeping the music very peaceful and choosing songs that are motivating, including like lyrics that have positive messages, so that I'm listening to things that have me feeling really good and positive about not just myself but about the world. So I found all that useful. And I hope that you find some of this useful and that you have an awesome day. I'm going to go on and keep chugging away at my smoothie and hope you guys have some peace.